Think about this for a moment. What if everything you thought you knew about getting rich was just one big distraction? What if, behind the headlines and the hype, real wealth was quietly built, not by working harder, but by owning the right things? The kind of things that put money in your pocket while you sleep. The kind of things that make the rich richer, almost automatically. Today, we're peeling back the curtain on the 15 assets that do exactly that. Assets the wealthy rely on to multiply their fortunes, even when the rest of the world is busy just trying to keep up. Ready for a journey that could change how you see money forever? Let's step inside the hidden world of wealth. Let's start with the simplest, yet most misunderstood asset of all: cash. You might think cash is boring, or even outdated in today's digital world. But the truth is, cash is power. And the rich? They know it. Picture Apple, over $150 billion sitting in cash reserves. That's not just a number, it's a war chest. It's ammunition for opportunity. Because when a deal of a lifetime appears, whether it's a new company, a property, or a crisis that knocks prices down, the person with cash on hand wins. Instantly. No paperwork, no waiting for approval, no opportunity lost. But there's another reason the wealthy keep so much cash: leverage. When they buy with cash, people offer better prices. No waiting for loans, no hoops to jump through. Cash is trust. It's speed. It's negotiation power. And in some cases, it's even a moneymaker on its own. Ever heard of peer-to-peer lending? Instead of accepting a measly 1% from the bank, the rich lend their cash directly to others, sometimes earning 7%, 15%, even 20%. Of course, risk follows reward. But the lesson is clear. Cash isn't just for spending. It's an asset that opens doors, closes deals, and keeps the rich ready for whatever tomorrow brings. Now, let's talk about a classic: real estate. There's a reason nearly every self-made millionaire you've ever heard about owns property. Real estate is the ultimate dual-income asset. First, it pays you rent. Every month, money flows in. A steady rhythm, like a heartbeat. Second, real estate appreciates. Over time, as more people compete for limited space, prices rise. Your property becomes more valuable, often with you doing very little. That's why the wealthy love real estate, because their buildings work for them, day and night. But real estate isn't just about houses. There are layers to this game. Residential buildings, where families live and pay you rent. Office towers, where companies hustle and pay you for space. Commercial centers, where businesses fight for the best location. And then, land, the raw, untouched resource that grows more valuable with every new highway, every new neighbor. The rich diversify across all these types, making sure that no matter what happens in the world, their real estate keeps working for them. And just a heads up, the house you live in? That's not an asset. It costs you money. It's comfort, not cash flow. Let's shift gears to something you can't touch: bonds. Sounds dull, right? But think of bonds as the bedrock upon which fortunes are quietly built. When a government or a giant company needs cash, they issue bonds. You buy in, and in return, they pay you interest. Like a loan, but you're the bank. Bonds are steady, safe. They don't make you rich overnight, but they protect your wealth. 3% a year may not sound like much, but in a world of uncertainty, it's a fortress. The rich use bonds to anchor their portfolios, to ride out the storms while their riskier assets take bigger swings. But maybe you want a little more excitement. Enter stocks. Stocks are not just gambling chips or ticker symbols flashing on a screen. Stocks are pieces of real businesses, engines that generate profits, employ people, change the world. When you own a stock, you literally own a slice of Apple, Tesla, or Disney. The wealthy know this. They don't just work for companies, they own them. And thanks to stocks, so can you. Even a few shares can make you a partner in the next big thing. That's power most people overlook. Let's be real, picking stocks is hard. Most people lose. That's why the rich love a different kind of asset: index funds and mutual funds. These funds bundle together hundreds of top companies so you don't have to bet on just one. It's like owning the whole economy. And history shows over the long term, index funds quietly outperform most fancy strategies. The S&P 500? Over 90 years, nearly 10% annual returns on average. Warren Buffett himself bets big on index funds for his family. Why? Because the system works. Simple, safe, and accessible to anyone. Assets aren't just locked away in vaults or stocks. Sometimes, they sit right on your desk or in your garage. Equipment, anything that helps you earn, is an asset. If you farm, the tractor is your moneymaker. If you're a developer, your laptop is your goldmine. Drive for Uber? Your car is an asset, not just a ride. The key is this: does it put money in your pocket or take it out? The rich know the difference. They invest in tools that multiply their income, not toys that drain it. Every purchase is measured by its power to produce. What if you could own something even more powerful? An idea. Enter patents. When you invent something and lock it down with a patent, you own the golden goose. No one can copy you without paying. Every time someone uses your invention, you get paid. Think about it. One simple toy, the Slinky, made over $3 billion donating. The Big Mouth Billy Bass, over $100 million. From quirky gadgets to high-tech marvels, patents have minted millionaires in silence. The wealthy invest in minds and ideas, not just machines. Maybe you don't have the next great invention, but maybe you have a name, a phrase, a symbol. Trademarks are the secret weapon of the brand world. Protect your logo, your slogan, even a catchy phrase, and every time someone uses it, they pay you. Michael Buffer trademarked his famous Fight Night catchphrase and has earned over $400 with it. Imagine getting paid every time someone says a few words. That's the hidden muscle of trademarks. They turn words and images into streams of income, often for life. But trademarks are only part of the story. The real treasure is in brand and goodwill. A brand is what the world thinks you are. Goodwill is how the world feels about you. Both are priceless, yet they show up as assets on a company's books. The Kardashians, for example, turned their names into billion-dollar brands. Disney can slap its logo on a $2 shirt and sell it for $10. That's the power of intangible value, the kind that cannot be stolen, only earned. The rich master the art of brand building, knowing that loyalty and love from millions is an asset no one can replicate. Now, let's zoom in on something most people never see: people themselves. That's right. The most valuable asset in any business isn't the logo, or the building, or even the cash. It's people. A single brilliant mind can shift an entire company's destiny. Think of Steve Jobs returning to Apple, or Jony Ive designing the products that changed the world. Sometimes, companies buy entire startups just to acquire the talent inside. The right person is worth more than gold. The wealthy know this, and they invest in teams, in culture, in relationships that multiply value. But what about assets you can hold in your hand? Raw materials and commodities. Gold, oil, rare art, vintage cars, luxury watches. The prices of these rise and fall with the tides of global demand. The wealthy buy low, hold and sell high, sometimes making fortunes on a single piece of art or a rare car. Did you know art has quietly outperformed the stock market for 20 years? That's why the rich buy masterpieces and vintage Ferraris while the rest buy things that lose value. But remember, never invest in what you don't understand. That's a rule as old as money itself. Now, let's enter the digital age. Books, songs, courses, information, these are assets that scale infinitely. Write a book once and sell it 1,000,000 times. Record a song, and it can pay you every holiday season for decades. Mariah Carey's holiday hit, over $60 from one song. Gangnam Style made its creator a millionaire many times over. The rich know. In the age of the internet, information is the new oil. Digital products don't run out. They keep selling year after year. That's leverage. And from digital creations come royalties. The quiet river of wealth that never dries. Write a book, star in a TV show, compose a hit song, and royalties keep rolling in. The cast of Friends still earns up to $20 a year from reruns. George Lucas became a billionaire by holding onto Star Wars licensing rights. Royalties are the ultimate asset. You do the work once and get paid forever. The wealthy structure deals to keep these streams flowing long after the original work is done. Sometimes, the asset isn't a thing or a brand. It's a right. Unique rights, like special licenses or geographic advantages, can make a fortune. Native American tribes in the U.S., for example, have exclusive rights to run casinos in certain areas. Churches and museums enjoy tax exemptions, turning donations into untaxed revenue. The wealthy spot these angles, sometimes hidden in plain sight, and use them to create advantages others can't touch. Sometimes, the rules are the asset. And finally, let's talk about innovation, the asset of the future. First mover advantage and proprietary business models. Sometimes, the richest rewards go to those who dare to go first. Apple's App Store, Netflix, streaming revolution, Airbnb's new model for travel. When you invent a new way to deliver value, you create an asset that can't be copied, at least, not right away. The wealthy look for those moments, those leaps, and ride them to the top. They create new rules, new markets, new fortunes. At this point, you might be thinking, all these assets sound amazing, but what if you're just starting out? What if you don't have $1 million to buy buildings or patents or art? Here's the secret the rich rarely say out loud. Your most valuable asset, right now, is time. Time is the raw material of every fortune. When you're young, you have more of it than anyone else. And you can trade it for money. That's called time arbitrage. Work hard, earn cash, then use that cash to buy other people's time. Employees, freelancers, partners. That's how empires are built. 1 hour, $1, one smart trade at a time. Here's how it works. You hustle. You trade your time, your skills, your energy for a paycheck. But you don't spend it all. You invest it. First in yourself, then in assets that make money for you. And when you've built up enough, you use your money to buy time from others. You build a team. You scale up. Suddenly, you have dozens, hundreds, even thousands of hours working for you every single day. That's the secret engine behind every successful business. That's how the rich get richer, not just through luck or inheritance, but by playing the time-money game better than anyone else. So, as you look at your own life, ask yourself, what assets are you building? Are you spending your time or investing it? Are you buying things that take money out of your pocket or things that put money in? The journey to wealth isn't about luck or genius. It's about seeing the world differently. It's about collecting assets, quietly, patiently, relentlessly. The rich have been playing this game for centuries. Now you know the rules. The question is, what will you do next?